in the room with multiple women, closed doors and lots of music and lots of drugs.
We just celebrating life. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. And it's Friday.
I had prime puff.
What I saw as soon as I opened the door was Aubrey sprawled out on a leather couch, looking very inebriated. I didn't drink like that at all. At this time, I don't drink at all. It's never been an issue with me. She was naked from the bottom half, and she had something over her top. Puff Daddy was penetrating in her vagina, and there was another stocky, light-skinned man with his penis in her mouth.
Justin and Puff go in the bathroom together. Moments later, I hear boom, boom, 2 shots. I'm like, yo. So I'm going through sounds. I'm like, this can't be, you know. It's like, okay, maybe I hit one of those gunshots on a keypad. I see Justin and Puff walk out. I opened the door and he was in there just bleeding. He was bleeding out.
I remember I came home one day and Shine had an AK-47 with the bullet jammed in it. And he was like, I can't get this bullet out. And I was like, yo, if you can't get the bullet out, you shouldn't be having your hands on the gun.
I do not own a gun. I do not carry a gun. The charges against me are 100% false. I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club.
Sean Puffy Combs is now facing 15 years in prison for his involvement in a shootout.
Swag gonna walk that way.
It was like, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do?
Hell, walking to Brooklyn. I ain't never do this, and I'm from New York.
And no matter what you go through, you gotta be willing to take it, because this is what it's gonna be, being an artist.
A large strawberry cheesecake with extra strawberries and an apple pie. This is for Diddy.
It's absolute power and control. You belittle someone to make them live in fear of you. You can control a person once you break them down like that.
Come on, finish up strong. Come on, man.
These kids were young, they were naive, they were fans. Instead of being someone that they look up to, he was like just running them in the ground.
I hear banging at my door.
Go chop, chop.
It's Puff. His pants are split open like a maniac, froth in the side of his mouth. He has a gun, and he's mad as hell. Why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Kid Cudi. And I was like, oh, that's Cassie's friend. And he's like, yeah, f all this. Go get dressed. We're gonna go f him. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Actually, go to the prosecutor. This guy committed another crime. And I would do the same thing with one. Go to the prosecutor. Really put a package together. Here's what he said. You shouldn't.
Rosanna, well, all of us know celebrities like P. Diddy get dragged through the mud all the time, but this latest allegation so shocking. Would you believe they're accusing P. Diddy of murder? P. Diddy's been sued a bunch of times before, but
in my life, to think that when you are championing someone and taking care of them and you have their back and you are the holder of came at a great cost, and the way he handled me was to erase me.
Cassie Ventura released a statement saying, I am so scared that his first actions will be swift retribution.
The reckoning for Sean Diddy Combs hinges on music's greatest unsolved crime. This episode confronts the allegations linking him to the murder of the notorious B.I.G. The moment the Netflix documentary premiered, Diddy's team released a statement immediately after the documentary premiered, calling it a shameful hit piece. They claim Netflix used stolen and unauthorized footage that Combs has been collecting since he was 19 to tell his own story. According to them, Netflix unfairly misused this material and took private moments, including conversations with his lawyers, out of context. The statement argues that no rights to this footage were ever granted to Netflix or any third party, making its use both improper and
Welcome to The Hidden Verdict, the channel where every case pulls you further into the unknown. Hit subscribe and step with us into the darkest corners of the human mind.
The courtroom felt unusually heavy that morning, as if everyone inside sensed that something was about to shift. Reporters whispered among themselves, attorneys shuffled anxiously through papers, and even the security guard seemed more alert than usual. Sean Diddy Combs sat motionless beside his lawyers, staring straight ahead, hands locked tightly together. Everyone expected a routine sentencing review, no surprises, no twists. But that changed the moment a clerk hurried in carrying a dark, sealed evidence box marked with a red tag. The judge paused, adjusted his glasses, and asked the clerk to approach. The room fell silent instantly, so silent you could hear the faint hum of the air conditioner as the box landed on the judge's desk with a dull thud. If you're already sensing that something explosive is about to happen, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss what unfolds next, because what happened in this room stunned even the most experienced prosecutors. The judge opened the box slowly, scanning the documents inside. His expression hardened. He leaned forward, tapped his gavel once, and announced that new evidence had been submitted overnight, evidence significant enough to trigger a sentencing enhancement review. Gasps rippled through the gallery. Diddy's lawyers shot to their feet, demanding to know the source of the evidence, while prosecutors simply exchanged knowing glances. Then, the judge said a name that immediately shifted the entire atmosphere. The material includes a digital file connected to Cassie Ventura. Cassie. The whispers turned into full-on murmurs. Phones vibrated in pockets. And Diddy finally moved, his shoulders tensed, his eyes narrowing as he looked toward the prosecution table. Before we continue, hit that like button if you're already drawn into this twist, because this case is about to take a turn no one in the room, absolutely no one, was prepared for. The judge then ordered the evidence unsealed, and the courtroom braced itself for impact. The judge's gavel struck once more as he instructed the bailiff to dim the lights. A low wave of tension rolled across the courtroom, the kind that tightens your chest before you even know why. A monitor was wheeled to the center of the room, its screen black and waiting. Prosecutors connected a small drive, its label barely visible but unmistakable, Hotel CCTV, Cassie incident. Even the sound of the plug clicking into place felt louder than usual. No one moved. No one breathed. Every eye locked on the screen. If this moment already has you on edge, the narrator's voice slips in, don't forget to hit that like button. What you're about to hear shook everyone in this room. The screen flickered. A timestamp appeared, 2:13 a.m., a dim hotel hallway, grainy footage but clear enough to recognize movement. A solitary figure stepped into frame, walking quickly. A second figure appeared seconds later. The courtroom collectively inhaled as prosecutors leaned closer, their faces illuminated by the cold blue glow from the monitor. Diddy's attorney put a hand to his forehead, whispering something urgently to a colleague. The judge watched with a stern, fixed expression. Gasps rippled through the gallery as the figure in front turned slightly, Cassie. Her posture was tense, glancing back repeatedly as if expecting something, or someone. The second figure closed the distance behind her with disturbing speed. Reporters in the room sat upright, pens in hand but forgetting to write. The security guard near the door even took a step forward, as though instinctively responding to danger he knew was recorded years ago. Do me a favor and subscribe so you don't miss the full breakdown of what this footage revealed next, because the most shocking part hadn't even played yet. The video continued rolling, and the room's silence grew heavier than before. The footage continued, and the deeper it went, the more the courtroom felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode. Cassie on screen moved toward her hotel room door, her hands trembling as she tried to insert the keycard. Her head snapped back again, something clearly wasn't right. The second figure, now unmistakably Diddy, stepped fully into the frame. Even through the grainy pixels, the energy in that hallway felt aggressive, tense, wrong. As he approached her, Cassie's body stiffened. She managed to push her door slightly open before he reached her, and the screen captured a moment that made several people in court physically flinch. Cassie's voice, faint but audible through the synced audio, whispered, "Please, stop." Her tone wasn't angry, it was scared. And that fear echoed through the courtroom louder than any shout could. Prosecutors paused the footage. The screen froze on Cassie's face, eyes wide, fear unmistakable. They asked permission to continue. The judge nodded. And when the footage resumed, every person watching instinctively leaned closer. Diddy's lawyers scribbled frantically, their earlier confidence now slipping away like sand through fingers. Cassie stepped into frame in real-life moments later, taking the witness stand. The contrast between the frightened woman in the video and the composed, steady person now facing the court only intensified the gravity of the moment. She inhaled deeply before speaking, and for a moment, the entire courtroom held its breath along with her. Before she began, let me remind you to comment your thoughts so far, because every second of this testimony reshaped what the public thought they knew about this case. Cassie described the night in calm but weighted detail, her voice steady but carrying the weight of years of silence. Each word she spoke seemed to land with the force of another blow to Diddy's defense. And as she continued, it became clear, this was only the beginning. When Cassie stepped down from the witness stand, the courtroom no longer felt like a legal setting, it felt like the eye of a storm. Reporters rushed out during the brief recess to broadcast the footage details, their voices carrying urgency as they spoke into their microphones in the hallway. By the time the judge called everyone back in, the outside world had already erupted. Social media timelines were burning, hashtags climbing, celebrities weighing in, and legal experts analyzing every frame of the video. The pressure inside and outside the building was now identical, crushing. Diddy returned to his seat with a stiff, unreadable expression, but his legal team looked shaken, their earlier confidence washed away by the tidal wave of public outrage. The district attorney pushed forward with a sentencing enhancement request, arguing that the newly revealed evidence demonstrated a pattern far more violent and controlled than previously understood. A ripple of murmurs traveled through the gallery as the judge listened intently, fingers steepled beneath his chin. As the DA outlined the legal basis for a potential life sentence, the judge asked everyone to rise for a short deliberative break. The tension was suffocating. You could feel the weight of decades of fame, power, and secrets pressing down on that room. While the judge's chair sat empty, the gallery buzzed with quiet speculation. Even the bailiffs exchanged uneasy glances. Before we step back into that courtroom, make sure you're subscribed, because what happens next isn't just another legal decision, it's the turning point in a case that shook the entire entertainment world. When the judge finally returned, the murmurs died instantly. He adjusted his robe, sat slowly, and looked out over the room with an expression so grave it sent a chill through the air. The decision he was about to deliver would not only redefine Diddy's future, but rewrite the narrative of an empire collapsing in real time. The courtroom fell into a heavy silence as the judge cleared his throat. Every eye was fixed on him, every camera lens trained, every heart racing. The words that followed would seal the fate of one of the most powerful figures in music history. After reviewing the new evidence and considering the testimony of Cassie Ventura, this court finds it necessary to adjust the sentence accordingly. A murmur ran through the gallery, but no one spoke. Diddy sat frozen, a mask of disbelief painted across his face. The judge continued, his voice steady but firm, delivering the words that would forever change a life imprisonment. A collective gasp erupted. Reporters scrambled, some leaning forward, others scribbling furiously, as the gravity of the sentence sank in. Diddy's legal team immediately requested clarification, but the judge's tone left no room for appeal. The life sentence was absolute, and the reasoning had been laid bare for everyone to see. Cassie, sitting quietly in the front row, exhaled a deep breath, the tension in her shoulders finally releasing. Her testimony, coupled with the evidence, had made the impossible outcome inevitable. The courtroom buzzed with whispers, some in shock, others in relief. Outside, social media erupted, trending hashtags igniting discussions about justice, accountability, and the consequences of power abused. If this verdict has you stunned as much as everyone in that courtroom, hit like, share this story, and subscribe for more deep dives. The rise and fall of Sean Diddy Combs is not just a story of fame and fortune, it's a cautionary tale, a lesson in how actions can ripple through life, reputation, and legacy. As the gavel struck one final time, signaling the end of the hearing, cameras flashed, and the world watched a mogul crumble. Once untouchable, now confined. And so, the empire that once towered over music, fashion, and culture came crashing down in the most public way imaginable. The hidden verdict had finally been revealed.